What's going on, y'all? So I know that this video has been long awaiting. I know that some discussion has been needing to be done, but welcome to the first installment of Becoming Devin Beyond the T Factor. I'm your host, Devin and I'll be going through my daily trials, tribulations, and everything of that nature, and giving insight on my trans testosterone journey that's been going on. Let's get into free little fun facts. I am 24 years old. I am the modern day Renaissance man, meaning I do a lot of things in the arts, a lot of the sciences, a lot in oratory or public speaking. I have a lot of great stuff to do. And I picked up a new trade, which is photography recently. So I thought, why not actually document my life and my testosterone journey for other trans men and just, young T-boys that didn't have somebody that looks like them or is of the nationality of them, and, something that I wish I would have saw growing up. So the first question that I have for y'all today is, how did I get on T? Thank you for asking that question. I'm going to go break it down for two parts. You can go the insured route or the uninsured route. Now, guys, I know there's not going to be a lot of editing right now. Please understand, as time progresses, I'll be getting better at video editing and just cut and paste and things of that nature. But insured routes, you go through your primary care doctor, physician, and you can get it done through that clinic, through that facility, and everything of that nature. Now, if you go the uninsured route, which I've went both routes, actually. I went with the uninsured and insured, because uninsured, it was like $65 I had to pay in total. $75 because it included the $10 visit, and then the $65 for the medication, which was my first round of testosterone, my syringes, and my needles, right? And that wasn't the injection needle. So that's one way you could go about it. A lot of people go through Planned Parenthood or different clinics like that, or even the Montrose Clinic, where you don't need your parent, in a sense, if you are of age. I will say, I don't condone doing things out of underage. I went as a 24-year-old technically, and got everything situated that I need to do. So with that being said, moving forward, I went through the insured route the next time that it happened, and it was just because it was months later, and I needed to, start focusing on my health, getting my body right, getting my wealth right, getting everything essentially that needed to be done for myself correctly. Because let's face it, right now, it's kind of looking tough for people. It's looking tough with the politics. It's looking tough in life. It's looking tough everywhere for the trans community and just communities in general. So when I went through the insured route, I was kind of skeptic. I was kind of scared. But it became, instead of being like that large number of 75 that I said before, it went down to like $16. So I would say check on your different avenues that you want to take it. You can either go the insured route, which goes to your primary physician and everything of that nature, and your primary care and where they're at in their office. Or you could go through the uninsured route, which you could go with Planned Parenthood, legacy centers, anything that deals with gender-affirming care and safety, or even any type of, well-being of the mind, body, and soul that is not with insurance purposes. It's like a non-profit type of clinic. You could go to those. That's the route that I went with both, and I've been on testosterone going on now 9 months. 9 months when it hits the 29th this October, which is crazy. It's crazy to me that I'm about to hit 9 months, y'all. Like, dang, I hit 9 months, and a lot of people are asking if I'm getting a top surgery. If you want to know about that question, ask it and drop it down below, and I'll be answering it for next week's installment of the video. So the second question I got was, how has my emotional and my mental been since being on testosterone? I would say before testosterone, my depression was extremely volatile. Like, I was grieving at the same time around that part, because I had lost my grandfather in early June 23rd, 2023. So around that time was a lot of grief, a lot of pain, a lot of things. And I wasn't the greatest person, I would say. Did a lot of things occur that I wish didn't? Yeah, because I would have been taking care of myself better, I would say. That's where I learned about boundaries afterwards, which is funny to some to be like, you learned boundaries after you got on T? Yes, I did. I learned boundaries. I learned respect. I learned honoring myself and protecting myself and my peace more, because I looked at it where this is now me fighting for me becoming me, developing myself. And a lot of times people don't do that. People don't respect that. People don't want to see that. People don't want to hear that, right? Or they're so used to how you were that they don't see the growth that you've made. And that's what really happened a lot of times. Like, the jokes that people would make before couldn't happen anymore. The comments people would make couldn't happen anymore. The phrases people would tell me couldn't happen anymore. Now, a lot of my past, people know my past when it comes to my stories, and they've seen my scars, they've seen my wounds and things of that nature. So mentally, I've started healing those wounds every single day slowly. Now, emotionally, I would say I'm calmer. I'm calmer. Of course, some of the things with testosterone where you do become more sexually active, you become more of that nature, more hormonal in a sense. Yeah, that happens. But I mean, I'm a one person. I don't like dabbling and mixing in multiple, just because with testosterone being that it is a added hormonal chemical that I'm adding to my body, I would have to stop it 9 times out of 10, because at least with some of the physicians that I've talked to, and this is where I say, go back to the first question, it depends, it varies, right? Because of my count of how much testosterone I already had, my blood cell count, everything of that nature, all the science and all the facts, if I were to get a disease of sexually contracted disease or illness, I would have to stop something along the lines where they would always say, you don't have to stop your testosterone. But that kind of scared me. But it would help you, to stop it for a little bit. And I understand that. Why? Because it got to fight something. And if I'm adding something else, a lot of people are like, it shouldn't change nothing. It shouldn't. But that's because of the lack of education and knowledge we have with individuals that start testosterone or even estrogen. It's a whole different ballgame when it comes to the chemical compound and composition of people and of humans. Okay. So I wouldn't want to risk my health just to go do something, right? That's just me personally. And a lot of with the emotional changes, I have been more reserved with how I feel about certain things, just because it's nobody's business. And that goes back to the boundaries. That goes back to the respecting. That goes back to setting clear-cut boundaries with people, because that was my problem before. I never set boundaries. So people could say what they want to say, could do what they want to say, and could do whatever, right? And it sounds bad, and that is why I'm not really friends with a lot of people, or the friends that I do have, I've kept because of different things. But I don't have a lot of friends. I don't. Not a lot of people I could call on at my lowest. No. And that's okay, because before I used to think, I need this giant team. No. Coming from when I was in therapy 3-4 years ago, and I was in therapy for like a good 3 years, going on 4, to not being in the therapy, not being medicated anymore, and my mental health has skyrocketed to where I have beautiful days. Like, I have not had a depressive episode in months. And I would say the last time I had one was probably month 2 of being on testosterone, month 2 or 3. And it was just because I had to look at the greater good above everything. Like, I'm doing something that I said, and multiple people said, I'm gonna get closer to y'all. Multiple people said I wouldn't do without them, but I'm doing it now. And that's the beautiful thing, is that I'm doing this for me. Like, mind you, I don't have my binder on. I'm feeling really, I don't really tape, because I have a large chest, so it's kind of hard to tape a large chest. And that's where it's a lot of these things where I'm like, you know what? We need more education from people who are me, look like me, that are of mixed nationalities, mixed intersectionalities, different things, that are a biracial person, or even just anything in general, because I didn't have this growing up. I started my transition in 2020, mentally, vocally, went and found videos on YouTube so that I could know how to make my voice how it is. And now mentally, I am prepared enough where it's like, dang, all what I prepared for, I can now do. Do you know how crazy that is? Oh man, that's a beautiful thing. And then to top it off, don't get me started with how it just feels so nice that facial hair is coming in, that people are just complimenting me as, hey, handsome, how are you, handsome, all these different things. And like, off rip, my voice gets noticed as a male. Like, forget everything else. You see me as a male, and I'm a male, I'm a man. You see me as a boy. You see me as a boy. So you see me smiling. Like, this black boy joy is just my eternal happiness, that I am so happy that my inner child gets to see this and gets to be who we were meant to be all along. Because when I tell you, at 6 years old, that little boy wanted to be a little boy so bad and couldn't. And then boom, 11 hits and we get our first period. Oh, it sucked. Then boom, like 12, 13, we start growing breasts. Oh my God, the amount of depression. Do you understand? A boy was been struggling. So that's going to wrap it up for today's first segment, y'all. If you have any other questions, any comments, any concerns, please drop them down below so we can put them in for next week. And I hope to see y'all there. But this is Devin and I signing out to the first episode of Becoming Devin Beyond the T Factor.